So welcome back to the course of Articulate Storyline 360, and in today's tutorial we take it as an extension of slide layers, and we get to understand on how we can hide the base layer objects. Now if all of this sounds too complicated, don't fret, it's very easy, and when we do this practically we'll understand how simple this is. So we'll do this with a live example. So here we have been working on this slide and we have been trying to fetch user response and then throw up different slide layers. Now if you have a slide like this, you quite obviously want different slide layers which would be of the type correct and incorrect, because you'll be wanting to throw the right correct layer in case the user selects the right response, and the incorrect layer if the user selects the incorrect response. But what happens is when you want to create such layers, all the objects that you see on this slide, which is the base layer of the slide, would still appear on those layers. And you would not want that to happen because it would kind of appear all too congested. You need some clean space. So let's kind of first make certain slide layers, and before that even let's understand what are slide layers again. We just revise the concept. So the slide is comprised of different layers. The thing that you see on the screen is the first layer, or also referred to as the base layer, and then you can add on different layers within the same slide, and then based on the user response throw upon the layer which you think is apt. So you define the logic for that. Now this is the base layer. I am asking the user to give in a response. If the user clicks 10, then I would be throwing up the right layer. If the user clicks 7, I would be throwing up the incorrect layer. So for me, first it's important that I create a layer in the first place. So I click on new layer, and then you can see that all of the base objects are still appearing. All the base layer objects are still appearing, although they appear dimmed, but they are still there. Now what I can do is I can go to timeline and I can see that I have this show hide option out here. So what it means is that I can decide to either show or hide the base layer objects. So I can kind of hide all of them. And now I want to create a layer which is titled incorrect. And then what I can do is I can simply insert, say, a certain button and just put in certain text here saying that sorry, that was the wrong answer. And then because the user has selected a wrong answer, I would want to have another button which says go back, and it can be go back. Well, so far so good. So we have hidden all the base layer objects. The base layer objects implies like all these objects have now been hidden, so they don't appear on my incorrect layer. But I also want to create or duplicate another layer, and which is the correct layer. So just select Ctrl C, Ctrl V so that I create the same layer. But now this I want to title it as I can just double click on this so that I can simply edit it. So this is the correct layer, and what I can do is I can change the fill of this, and now you can see again in this correct thing, again all the base layer things are appearing. So I can just simply hide all of this. Whatever is there, I can hide all of this. So only these two things that we have put in, and that happens because we have duplicated the incorrect layer. So I just want to give in a different color. So great, that is the right response. And well, so far so good. And I can, like, allow the user to then go ahead with the slide flow. So I can now click on Ctrl S. So we have different layers, and the way now it works is like when you are making modules like this, so you attach triggers. So you would want to attach trigger to the object, so you select the object to which you want to attach the trigger. So once it gets highlighted, you can like attach a trigger. So before we attach trigger, I want to delete all the triggers, so just hold on. So I've deleted all the existing triggers so that we can work on it fresh. So in case the user selects 7, which happens to be incorrect, so I want to attach a trigger showing the incorrect layer. So show the layer which is incorrect if the user clicks 7. So far so good. If the user clicks 10, so I want to attach a new trigger and show the layer which is correct when the user clicks 10. Now You can very well understand. I mean, I would have done the same with 8 and 9, showing incorrect layers. Okay, in case this doesn't seem logical, let me just do it for you. So I show the incorrect layer when the user clicks 8, and the same thing. So I can show the layer incorrect when the user clicks 9. So with this, I first save the project, Control S, and then I can preview this. But another thing that I want to do is, like, when I go to the incorrect, you will see that I have this go back. So I want to attach a trigger here, and the trigger would be like to go back to the base layer. So basically go back to the layer which is already there, that is hide this layer, and then like automatically the base layer will come. So hide this layer when the user clicks on this button. So this is what is to be done. What this means is that this incorrect layer would be hidden. So if this incorrect layer would be hidden, what is beneath the incorrect layer is nothing but the base layer. So the base layer would show up. And the correct layer, what I want to do with this button is, like the proceed button is, I want now to not hide the layer but jump to slide, and I want to jump to the next slide when the user clicks on proceed. That's because he has done the quiz correctly. So I click on OK. I first save the project, Control S, and I click on the base slide, and then I click on preview. Like I said, I just want to preview the slide and not the whole scene. So now when I click on 7, you will see that is the wrong answer. Go back. So it goes back to the slide. When I click on 10 is the right response. I can proceed and it takes me to the next slide. But sadly, we are like, previewing this in the slide. So not the scene. So the next slide is not available. But still, I just want to show like the different other layers. So the 8 is also a wrong response. Go back to the original layer. So because the incorrect layer gets hidden, so the base layer with all the object gets shown up. So this is how, like, we are throwing up a layer. This is the incorrect layer with all the base layer objects being hidden. The base layer had lily, this shape, and this 4 buttons. So all those got hidden. And I obviously assume that now you understand how we do that is by simply using this I thing. So simply hide, and you can very well hide the base layer objects. Important thing when you are fetching user engagement is also to understand on how you can use go back and next buttons logically, so that in case user is not able to attempt it rightly, you want them to replay the entire quiz. So hopefully all that makes sense, and this should complete layers and triggers to a certain extent. We will look at if we can still use these concepts to build more user interaction. Thank you.